What is going on, everybody? This your boy Puffs Comics 83, and I'll be doing this chatting with the comic community. So far I'm riding solo, so I'll just be showing some books. I'll give my thoughts on the Suicide Squad movie, and anybody who show up in the chat, I'll probably communicate with y'all, talk with y'all. Hope your Saturday is going fine. It got me a fresh cut, so looking forward to MegaCon next week, which is it's gonna happen despite what's going on here in Florida because I already got my badge for it and it's activated. But I just recently looked at the last updates, and a lot of people canceled the event due to the unfortunate situation we're in the state of Florida regarding to COVID. So a lot of people canceled. I think Tom King canceled, George Perez, who I was anticipating meeting, he canceled, Scott Snyder, Greg Capullo, Joshua Williamson. So we lost a bunch of top named comic creators for this coming MegaCon. But and I know from what I've seen on Instagram in terms of like polls asking would people go to MegaCon given the state that we're in here in Orlando, and a lot of people said no. So we're less than a week away, so hopefully go there. Not too many people are there, and they still have a good time, but I'm going to be going there with safety in mind. So outside of that, I'm just going to go ahead and show off some new comics because I went to the comic shop today to pick up like the last 2 weeks of books. So I'm going to start off with the new Dune series, Blood of the Cwtcc. This is issue number 1. We got Not Near Mint in the chat. What's going on, Rob? Yes, stay safe. Thanks, Inja Benja, for that. I'm definitely going to try and stay safe. Got Barbaric number 2. I read issue number 1 and it was pretty decent. It wasn't great, but I liked its premise. And, of course, a title named Barbaric, you're going to have some barbaric kills in there. But looking forward to checking this one out. Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man 71, continuing the Sinister War. This is going to be the concluding arc of Nick Spencer. I was going to drop Spider-Man a few months ago, but when I found out that he's going to be ending his run with issue 875, then I figured I'll just go ahead and just complete the whole run. The gorgeous Lucille Perillo, Sacred 6, number 11. Beautiful cover, beautiful art. And I'm still enjoying this. I gotta catch up with the last 2 issues before I read this one. Same with the Vampirella series, but Christopher Priest has been doing a great job on this series, so definitely look forward to catching up. Here is Icon and Rocket, Season 1, issue number 1. I'm looking forward to reading this. I'm a fan of Icon from the 90s. And of course, Rocket, as always. So I'm looking forward to reading that. And here is Static Season 1, issue number 2. I was a bit indifferent with issue number 1. It was decent, but it felt like recapping the Milestone Returns one shot. It was like half a recap of that, and then the other half was like telling Virgil's story of, how this whole thing is affecting him and what he's going to do about it. So hopefully issue 2, we get a bit more of his story. I'd like to welcome in Rob. What's going on, sir?
Hey, Sean, how you doing?
Doing fine. On this Saturday, I was just talking a little bit about MegaCon before showing some books.
Yeah, I just read last night that Donny Cates is pulling out of that.
Yeah, a lot of people pulling out.
And were they pulling out really for family reasons, or is it because?
Oh,
no reason.
we know the real reasons. They shouldn't even try and hide it.
I'd be
But
okay if they just came out and said, "Hey, I don't want to get the Delta variant because I don't want to get sick." Or I am unvaccinated and I don't think that the thing's real, but I'm still kind of afraid of Delta. Something instead of, yeah, family reasons.
but it is what it is. Got this.
Oh yeah, that's in my to read pile.
Yeah, look forward to reading this. Nice. There you go. Twinning.
Twinsies. This is all my read pile right here.
Yeah, I just picked up my books earlier, about 2 hours ago. So got Elvira with Vincent Price.
Oh, the David Avalone book.
Yes.
Have you read it?
Not yet. Like I said, I got all these books earlier. So look forward to it. I'm an Elvira fan and I love Vincent Price from back in the day. So Shadow Doctor #5. I'm really looking forward to reading this. This is supposed to be the conclusion of this miniseries. So
And that's not something that's likely to go to full series.
I don't think
ends
so.
there.
Yeah. It even says it at the end. It says the end.
Not like Stray Dogs. We're coming back for season 2.
Another Perillo cover. Vampirella, issue #22.
Where's Jeff when you need him?
Hope he's doing fine. I know he was under the weather last week. The Good Agent, issue #4. I need to read the last issue 3. But that's issue #4. One of my favorite series is The Swamp Thing, issue #6 by Ram V. Really been enjoying this series.
First 2 issues are good, but I have a feeling that's going to read really well all together at once.
Oh, yeah. Definitely real good. And of course, you know I love me some Sojourner Mullen and Far Sector, so had to get this amazing variant. Green Lantern #5. And then my shop got all these in recently. Yeah, that's a beautiful cover. My shop got these all in recently, issues 1 through 4. And you mentioned it earlier, Stray Dogs. And these are the later printings. Bram Stoker's Dracula. It's issue #2. Issue #3. They really killing it with these horror variants. And I see you got them too. #4.
I don't have 4 and 5. I don't know why.
Yeah, these were the only ones I got today, 1 through 4. It didn't have 5.
And they stuck the landing. That was so good about that series. Unlike Proctor Valley Road, where it just felt like 3 issues combined into one where it was missing pages.
Then I got 2 back issues. Conan the Barbarian, issue 246.
That's not one of the McFarlane covers, is it?
Huh?
That's not one of the McFarlane covers, is it?
Nah, this is Steve Lytle.
Oh.
And I think I'm like 2 issues away from finishing this series. And one of them I already have, which is the most expensive out of them. And that's Marvel Superhero Secret Wars #7. So those are my pickups for the last 2 weeks of books. How are you doing, Rob? You get anything new?
I picked up 1 back issue in the last month, and it's up there on the wall now.
Okay.
Otherwise, it's just been the regular books that have been coming out, but they've been working me to death these last couple weeks. And not next week, but the week after, I'm not going to be doing my regular show because they're sending me down to Key West for a whole week for trial. But considering that I just needed to put $1,000 into my car for brakes, rotors, and other shit, I'll do whatever's necessary just to make sure that these things keep coming in too.
Nice. So you won't be having a regular show next week?
Next week we'll be having one, but the week after that.
Oh.
Because instead I'll be in Key West going, oh my God, how much longer is this going to go for?
Yeah, that's got to be rough for a whole week too.
Well, it's not going to be any kind of trial that's going to be fun. Like, hey, someone was murdered. Who did it? Was it really this person? No, it's going to be, well, somebody tripped and fell in a hole. And it's going to be something like that. And it's going to be boring. And it's going to be a week long of.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm reading Neil Gaiman's Norse gods or Norse.
Yeah. I remember when I did jury duty, it was brutal. I actually got picked on it, and I was like, we had to be there for most of the day. It was not fun.
It feels like reading this. While it's pretty looking, it's very dry and boring. I'm sorry. And I love Gaiman, but
some books be like that though. It's like it has an interesting premise, but then you read it and it's just bore you to tears. Like,
this is the guy that did Sandman, and instead I'm going, oh my God, how much more is this to go? Oh,
I'll say a book that I did not like was that recent Mom book, Mother of Madness.
I can understand that, and it's not so much that just because we're men that we'd be against a female writer. It's nothing to do with that. It was just so much exposition.
Yes, it was. I felt like by the time I got to the second half of the book, I just started flipping through the pages and looking at the artwork because it was so much exposition, and none of it was really capturing me. Like the whole thing with the men, I was like, I see what she's doing and all that, and I'm not particularly fond of it, but I want to see how it goes. But then as I keep reading it, I'm like, man, this is boring me. I didn't really like her talking to the audience while she got people around her. Like, that was kind of annoying to me when she kept doing that. And it just kept going on and on.
Story I want to tell, but instead, this is the story that I hear in my head, because reading the whole book, yeah, you had a lot of men, people like us, and whatever they're saying to her, it's not real dialogue. It's, hey, honey, look at those nice fat titties you got there. And whether or not the man might be saying that, that's what she's hearing in her head. That I understood. But then having her turn around as all of this is happening and then go, by the way, audience, it was a very Bugs Bunny, Deadpool sort of move that wasn't necessary. And the amount of exposition that had to be told for you to understand all this. I mean, it was a thick story, and this is a comic book. It's show, not tell.
Yeah. And, I was kind of fooled at the beginning thinking that this was going to be some type of supernatural story when she had that splash page and she turned to a monster. So I was like, oh, this might be interesting. But then as the book go on and I find out how she got her powers and stuff like that, I was like, really? Like that's how she becomes who she is? And then, the different ways of how powers works, I was like,
it's very conceptual. It's based on her emotion, and I understand that. I get it. But there's 2 more issues to go. I don't know who exactly the central bad guy, unless the central bad guy is a theme. I'm picking up the second issue because it's very short and you can sell it pretty easily, I imagine, or at least give it away to somebody during Christmas.
I wouldn't get the second issue just based on how that first issue presented itself. For the price that they charged, it was a thick book.
$6.
It was just, it was hard to get through. And I feel like books that are like really hard to get through, that I'm struggling to get through it, I don't want to try and attempt to do it on the second issue.
This is Norse mythology, not just issue 2, but issue 2 from volume 2. The only reason I'm picking this up is because it's Gaiman, and I'm hoping that it picks up. And this is on the second volume, and I still have that hope. I don't know why I should have that hope with any book, but this is the woman that played Khaleesi. This is a woman who is into comics, that through interviews, you do know that she had a brother that was into comics, and she felt like she was, her big brother was the gatekeeper. Now she gets her opportunity to do a comic book, and it reminds me of, if anything, Robert Kirkman, way back in the beginning when he was trying to do Walking Dead and Invincible. He wasn't the powerhouse name that we know as him as today. Instead, it was more or less like, I don't know if this might be the only comic book I put out, so I got to put everything I can into it. That's why they wound up killing Shane in issue 3. When you watch the TV series, that's the end of the first season. They cram in so much instead of just let the story breathe a little bit, feel a little bit more natural, so that way you're in the universe, kind of like watching the new Suicide Squad movie. If you just saw that, you don't have to spend a ton of time with the characters to know their tics, their emotions, their what motivates them from one scene to the next. Instead of, here's about 10 pages of dialogue. Okay, now we get to the action scene.
Speaking of, I did watch that yesterday, and I enjoyed it. You know, it was way better than the first movie. You know, like I love Idris Elba in the movie. As you know, he was awesome.
The scene with his daughter, the giant fuck you back and forth to the daughter until, well, you're an embarrassment as a father.
I can't come back to that. I can't come back to that. But the way like Waller uses the daughter as the way to get him on the team, is like, man, and Waller was really despicable in this movie, for especially at the end. I thought she was despicable in the first movie when she took out those people who was working for her, but nah.
If I had one gripe about the entire movie whatsoever, and I understand why, they did it for humor effect, but if this was really Waller, Viola Davis, perfect Amanda Waller. But if this was perfect Amanda Waller, she's picking not just her own team, she's picking the IT team around her. And she wouldn't pick somebody that's going to whack her in the back of the head when she's planning on killing some innocents, because that's the job to save America, god damn it. So she's not going to surround herself with a bunch of liberals. She's going to surround herself with a bunch of people that are going to go, yes, ma'am. Please don't kill me, Miss Waller.
I forgot to mention that we might spoil something for those who haven't seen the thing.
You probably should have seen it by now.
But I enjoyed the movie, and the cast was pretty good. I'm not as fond of King Shark like most people are. Like they seem to like, oh, King Shark was amazing and stuff. I'm like, King Shark was an idiot sometimes, man.
Had they have made Sylvester Stallone act more like the King Shark that we've seen from the Harley Quinn animated show, I think you could have gotten a bit more humor for it. But I understand dumbing down the character to a Bane from Batman and Robin sort of level idiocy, because you get more humor out of idiots.
Yeah.
Bird. Stay off the common way.
And you know what? I was cursing out James Gunn for his treatment of birds in this movie.
Although you notice, even with the animated scenes, like when Harley had all those flowers and animation blowing up from behind her, as she's walking from one scene to the next, you're still seeing that little yellow bird. It's like the mascot of the film. Kind of like Milton. Who?
Oh, man, Milton. I will say that Cena surprised me, even if I tried not to see him. But, I didn't expect what happened towards the end of the movie with what he did. So that was pretty.
You did see the not the end sequence with the weasel. I mean the one after that.
Oh man, that kind of burnt me a bit. I was like, all right, Cena did good and all that stuff. But when I saw that end sequence, like, how?
Because movies, or to quote Ryan George, well, that's super easy, barely even an inconvenience. We need the next TV series to happen. That's how it happened.
Well, hopefully WWE don't put the title on him at SummerSlam and try and cash in off of this movie.
Oh, he's going to appear in costume somewhere.
He probably will. Peacemaker.
He's going to need
But
to advertise his show. Everyone needs to advertise for their own thing to make money. It's all about keeping the money train rolling.
yep, and a business that ain't making money, that's a
Why are we
no-no on
hiring
this.
you?
Yeah.
Then you're just you and me. We're not working at Marvel. But if we did, we would do whatever it would take to keep that money train rolling.
Yep.
Hey, Sean, you going to show up in costume today? Yes, sir, I will.
Be there, right there at the start, 8:00 in the morning, in costume.
Full makeup where it takes 5 hours. I showed up at 1 a.m. I'd had like an hour and a half sleep. I call that normal day doing my regular job. For Marvel money? Yeah. Hey, Ruben.
What is up, Ruben? Yeah, I'll be at MegaCon. It feels like it feels like these last few weeks with the whole thing going on, it's like MegaCon's been declining in terms of hype, and it never recovered from last year. To be honest, never
recovered. Will come back. Is just right now. Okay, if you're vaccinated, great. And if you have insurance, even better. But many of us in America, I'm one of them. I am vaccinated and I don't have health insurance. I'm also a 1099er, which means that if I take a day off work, I don't get paid. If I don't get paid, I have to decide what I'm not going to get that week or month or whatever. The longer I'm not working, the more I have to put up with not buying stuff. I like expensive stuff, so I need to keep working. So I ask up and everything. Public spaces. Yeah. Hey, MegaCon, I want to get that Hulk 181, but I can maybe wait.
Yeah. Sometimes you gotta, take precautions in situations, and I'm go there, but I'm like I said, safety first for me. But I know okay. Yeah, a lot of artists is canceled, man. George Perez, Scott Snyder, Greg Capullo, Tom King, Joshua Williamson. And this was all within the last week or two, that these artists, are unable to attend, as they say. But yeah, George Perez was a big blow because I missed out on meeting him the last 2 times he was at MegaCon, and I was looking forward to meeting him this year.
Which one?
George Perez.
Oh, yeah. It might be his last one. So if he's still showing up, you make sure.
Nah, he canceled. He's not going to be there.
Well, you can always show up to his home. There's ways of finding out his address. I'm not going to present them here.
No. I'll probably have to wait for a fetish con or something like that. He
always will get his signature, but it will be on a restraining order.
Shit. But yeah, I was really looking forward to meeting him, and that's not going to happen. So it seems like it's always unfortunate events that happen. And that's the sad. But and another thing is, all these cons have been crunched together within August and September, especially in the Southeast. You had Tampa Bay 2 weeks ago, MegaCon this week. I think SuperCon is in the beginning of September. Yep. So all these cons are so close to each other. A lot of these people probably don't want to make all these travels, especially with what's going on in Florida.
And unfortunately, if you're planning on spending a lot of money on comics, you're going to splurge all in one area, and to spread apart that wealth, because you can't go, okay, I bought a whole bunch of crap at the beginning of August. I have so much less money now to spend in September at SuperCon. SuperCon now seems to be like the leftover con.
Yeah.
For Florida.
It's the last big one.
Mm-hmm.
But I ain't been to SuperCon since the mid 2000s when my one and only trip to Miami.
Oh, then you probably, if it was the first 3 SuperCons, you might have seen me running something called the Anime Dating Game and other assorted weird panels like that, because I was much fatter and had I was shaved and I was married and was much geekier, probably drunker.
Well, I don't remember seeing you because we ain't know each other then, but it was a pretty cool time down there. Hopefully I can attend another one hang out with Hialeah and 90 if ever he come back. So that's the goal. It's just to, even if we don't go to cons, just go down there and hit up shops and have fun doing that.
If you're going to be hitting up any shops down here, the number one, at least for South Florida, Phil's Comic Shop, where Brian, big tall guy, long hair, he runs the place. And I think that
that's
were
Take
there
Time
with,
Collectibles, right?
That is him. You were there with
I wasn't
Bueller. You were there with Bueller.
Yeah, I wasn't there, but I know when he met Bueller, that was pretty cool time because
I was not there for that.
Yeah, it sucked though. Some people couldn't make it when Bueller came down, and that was like a big deal. With comics with Bueller in Florida, I was like, shit, I got to go to the con to meet him. It's been like on the list since I started doing YouTube videos.
Yeah, back when he visited, I think I was making maybe between $80 to $200 a week because the jobs were that sparse doing this, and I could barely afford anything. So have fun, guys. I'm just gonna pretend that I'm sick or something. I don't know.
Yeah, but you live through our posts and our videos and all that stuff. So there's gonna be other times. Yeah, vicariously. There's gonna be other times. I know next weekend is the anniversary of besides MegaCon, it's the anniversary of the comic Jabroni's passing. And like I said, I missed that opportunity when he came and hung out with Rod and Perry and those guys. And I was hoping I'd get another opportunity, but that didn't happen because of what happened when he passed away in August. So I know me and VV will do a tribute show the following Friday. We're going to talk the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movies. So
the originals, not the Michael Bays, I imagine.
Not the Michael Bays. What is up, Geek?
What's going on? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can.
We can hear you. I hopefully you can't see us.
Well, I'm not looking at you, no.
How's it
Because
going,
right
man?
now I only have one thing going through my mind, and it's Simpson. Homer Simpson. He's the greatest guy in history. In the town of Springfield, he's about to hit a chestnut tree. Ah!
Dork.
How's it going, James?
It's good, man. I just drove way the hell out of my way to check out a new store. It turned out to be more secondhand and very little comics, and most of them are overpriced. So, but I did find an Icon #1 still in the poly bag for $1.
Oh, nice.
Worth it.
Yep.
If you walk out with one store, at least you walk out with that.
Right?
For $1 too?
Yeah. Well, I paid more for a Michael Turner Fathom variant than I paid for that book.
Wow.
There's that black photo negative version of Fathom Zero, so I'm like, I gotta have that.
Nice.
What are you guys up to?
Next. We was just talking about MegaCon and the Suicide Squad movie and new books.
I liked the Suicide Squad movie. That was fun.
Yeah, it was way better than the first.
Yeah. I liked the
really
first
enjoyed
one up until like the end was where it kind of just fell off the cliff. I guess they just didn't want to have what's her name as the Enchantress looking all dirty and nasty the whole time. Especially since she's a supermodel.
Used Daniela Melchi. I'm gonna butcher her name. Daniela Melchia. Thank you. She was the saving grace of the film. She was the anchor. She was the heart of the film, and she was the analog to the Enchantress from the previous film.
Yeah. Young, dirty girl. Yeah, getcha. Just kidding.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the movie though.
Yeah.
I thought Idris Elba was great in it. I didn't like King Shark as much as a lot of people like him.
Oh.
No.
It was the comic relief. Him and Peacemaker.
Well, Cena is comic relief most of the time anyway. Even though
dicks.
I did not expect what he did at the end.
Right? Actually, I kind of did. But yeah, no spoilers, right? But yeah, it was a significant turn, and taking out one of the members was rough.
Well, there was a very final credit scene that was after the Weasel scene.
Right.
Stay for the final credits. It's like a Marvel movie. Just because the title card comes up, there's one more scene. You go, oh, okay, that's it. Walk out of the theater. I mean, I watched this on HBO Max, but I fast forward all the way to the end. Holy shit, there was an extra scene. I'm glad I did that.
Definitely stayed in. I wonder if Brave and the Bold 28 is going to go up in value.
It has.
For like a minute and a half.
76,000 high grade, it says in Key Collector. I don't know. I can't afford that.
Price. I don't believe any prices on Key Collector.
Some of them are higher, some of them are lower. I just call it all arbitrary and whatever is in front of people that given week, and with people on YouTube and the internets. Then you just wait about 2 weeks, 4 weeks, a month, 2 months, and then wait till that Eye of Sauron is cast somewhere else. Then I'll go and pick it up.
So for the Free Comic Book Day next weekend as well.
Yeah, and, timing, right? For MegaCon.
I know, because we was talking about how all these cons are crunched up, between August and September.
Yeah, it's true to kind of get them in.
I got to go pick up my car. $1,000, not fun. If I get back and you're still on, I'll be here.
Right on.
All right, man. Peace out.
Good luck.
Yeah, man. So I'm going in with safety precautions, but I am looking forward to Friday. When we all meet up there, because I'm not going Thursday. I got a 4-day pass, but I'm not going to go Thursday because I'm still working this week, and I'll be off next week on vacation. So,
right on. So I was an idiot and I wasn't paying attention, right? Because I'm flying in Thursday and I'm only going to be at the con Friday and then part of Saturday before I fly out. So, and I missed the early bird pricing. So I'm like, all right, I'll just get my tickets for Friday and Saturday. And I wind up paying for it and not paying attention to the fact that it cost me $110 for Friday and Saturday tickets, and a 4-day pass is $115, and I'm going to get there at like 4:30 on Thursday. And I'm like, well, crap. So I've been trying to get a hold of somebody to fix the tickets. So I'm hoping I can just go there and go, hey, I didn't pay attention. Can I just trade these two in for a 4-day pass, right? Because you can upgrade on the website, but the issue with it is that you can only update. I can upgrade one ticket to a 4-day pass and pay the upcharge, but then I have 2 tickets.
Oh, right? So they won't refund you on the other one?
No, there's no refunds whatsoever.
Damn.
Yeah, I can't be like, oh no, I didn't want that and refund it. No, that's not allowed.
Damn.
Yeah, so I'm just trying to get a hold of somebody ahead of time so I don't have to deal with this. But I guess I'm gonna have to go in there on Thursday when I get there.
Yeah, because it was a few years ago when I realized that buying the 4-day pass is cheaper than buying Friday and Saturday. Yeah. Well, at least it's not a huge price difference, because Friday and Saturday is like you said $110 and the 4-day pass is $115. I'm like, you might as well get the 4-day pass.
Yeah, and for me flying in and I get there Thursday, that just makes sense, right? Because I can pop in there for a preview with hopefully with Hialeah, and we can just kind of check the floor and get a little early access to stuff before the main group rolls through. At least kind of get the lay of the land.
Yeah, because I usually go Thursday, just to look around, see what spots I'm gonna come back and hit up later or the next following day, stuff like that. Yeah. And then Friday and Saturday, I just go. I'm mostly being Artist Alley, and I'll hit up some of the comic vendors on Saturday and Sunday for the deals.
Yeah, I get you. And then if I can get this, hopefully I can just get that switched over because I want to give my pass to Rod the Rican for Sunday if he gets to go. He's had some personal personal time constraints. So if he can go and not have to pay for it, maybe he can just buzz in there for a couple of hours, right? That way it's kind of worth his while instead of having to, go a whole day or pay for a whole day and only be there a couple hours.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Well,
we'll see.
Steve said Jeff can't go, so he gonna get his pass.
Man. So this is twice now I'll be in Florida and I don't get to hang out with the Cantonese comic kid.
I hope he's doing okay because I haven't really seen or heard from him much outside of his brief appearances in live chats.
Yeah, so is he just working hard?
I don't know. I know he was under the weather the last weekend. And he popped up in the chat during yesterday's stream with me and VV saying he'll be ready for MegaCon. So him not going is a major bummer.
Yeah, that sucks. It really does.
I know Jason, Southern Comic Geek, said a couple weeks ago that he was coming.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, because when I was in the chat, he said he was going to come to MegaCon.
Very cool. Because I'm trying to get a big hookup, big hangout for Thursday night for everybody that's going to be in the area, and just kind of get everybody together in a bar and hang out on camera and have some drinks and talk some comics.
Sadly, I won't be able to make that because I'll be going to work that night.
Y'all are killing me.
I know, man. And the sad part, they finally got me a partner because I've been working by myself for the last 3 months. And I'm supposed to have somebody with me, but the guy I had quit and I've been by myself for 3 months. And they're like, yo, my vacation coming up and I still don't got a partner. So what's going on here?
Right.
So they told me they finally got somebody to come in this week. So now I got to train them, show them everything that I do, and then he got to handle it by himself for a week.
Oh, good time. Yeah.
But I already know it's going to be a mess when I come back, so I'm preparing for the worst.
Yeah, absolutely.
Steve said Jeff is still sick, so that's not good.
Well, he's got a week to get better. Hopefully he doesn't have the Rona.
That's all the rage here in Orlando.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. I'll be masked up at the show. I'm vaccinated, but I ain't taking any chances.
Yep, me too.
That Delta's mean.
I mean, I ain't get it the first go around. I ain't trying to get the Delta.
Exactly. That is exactly what I'm saying.
And I know I've seen
square thus far.
And I've seen a lot of polls, on Instagram and stuff about, are you going to MegaCon? And it's a lot of no's on it because of what's going on.
Yeah, I've been keeping an eye because I honestly I'm just worried about it getting canceled and then there not being a show at all. But I've been keeping an eye on the celebrities to see which ones drop out. So far on the regular celebrity guests, there's only been a few that have decided to not go, and then on the creators, we've seen a lot more drop out. Yeah, we've seen a lot more drop out on the creators. I think the last count I had was 14 or 16 people have passed. Like Scott Snyder, Greg Capullo, they're out. And
the big names.
Perez
ain't coming.
Oh, Perez. Oh, yeah. I don't blame him. I don't blame him at all.
Yeah,
right?
Me neither.
The sad part though was it was supposed to be his last mega.
Yeah.
So that's the rough one. I was kind of hoping that he'd be there.
That was like
I'm
a
gonna
gut
go
punch.
Off cam for a second. Yeah, go ahead. Keep talking.
That was like a gut punch for me because I really wanted to meet him. Considering I missed out on the last 2 times to meet him.
I got to meet him at 2 years ago. I want to say it was 2019. He was there with Marv Wolfman. And they got some signature stuff done. But that was about it.
Yeah. Even if I don't get the SIGs, I just want to get a chance to meet him and talk to him because I've heard so many great things about him being super nice.
He is. He's super nice.
Yeah, man. So, and the last time, every time I went by his booth, the line was capped off. So I was like, because he was still doing like those panels. He was still doing the panels, so they had to make sure the line get capped off. So every time I got to the line, it was already capped off. And I was with my younger cousins that day, so it's not like I could just stand in the line and stay there. Oh shit!
What's up, guys?
Jeff, are you good? You doing well?
I'm doing okay. I'm getting better. So
getting better.
Oh, good to hear that.
I'm getting better.
So are you gonna be able to make a con or no?
I'm still having a hard time. Like I can't even walk too much, man. Like if I walk for an hour or so, I'm gonna have to take a break. Like.
Well, at least you're taking precautions, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, stay safe and stay healthy, man.
Yeah.
What's going on, Big Will?
I have arrived. My phone doesn't give me an alert anymore for Gmail, so.
Yeah. So if I jump off, you guys know why. So.
It's all right, man. But hey, even if you're not gonna make it, we're gonna try and hook you up with something.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So I gotta hit Sarah up and probably have one of you guys pick up my commission from Sarah. So.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I was definitely planning to stop by her booth.
Yeah. So. Yeah. So So I'm gonna have Steve or so one of you guys pick up that commission from her for me.
What did she charge you for that commission?
A really good price. I'm not. She doesn't want me to tell anybody.
Gotcha. No, I can appreciate that. I'm just asking because I don't know what most artists charge.
Xavier.
Some of them charge three to four, 1,000, depending on what size it is. So. But I'm just happy I'm happy I'm getting better. So.
And
yeah, but you guys probably already knew what it was anyway, so it was no joke. Anyways, I'm giving you guys a heads up. It was no joke at all.
Well, that's like I said. That's the worrying thing we got going to this MegaCon with what's going on here in Florida.
Yeah, yeah. I'll tell you guys off air, but I'll tell you guys stuff off air. No.
Yeah, I already said no more cons this year. My next one will be in April and June of next year. So
yeah. Oh yeah, you remember the
that Fight Girls?
Yeah, Fight Girls. Yep.
Yeah, I picked up the standard #1.
Yeah, I picked it up. I picked up the Virgin, and then they said that they wouldn't even send it because they were going through a lawsuit or something like that. So then I guess Sarah got involved, and it cleared it up.
Oh, that's a good thing.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm doing all right, man. It's just it's annoying though. That's all.
I'm glad you're doing well, man. Because you ain't been posting much.
Yeah.
You ain't been doing the videos. So I know last week you was under the weather.
Yeah, I was still under the I'm still under the weather because I had to check myself into the emergency room earlier this week because of my breathing was weird. So I felt like panic attacks, and then they looked. You can hear it still. Yeah, it wasn't panic attacks, and it wasn't a blood clot. At least that's what they worried. That's what they were worried about. It was a blood clot somewhere in my lung. So they checked it and said, "Oh, good. It wasn't that, and it wasn't pneumonia." So and then,
I'm glad you popped in, just to give us an update.
Yeah. So I won't be on with Robert later because I just want to get rest. You know what I mean? That's a little too late. So I know I know it, but I'm just saying I just rather get my rest in, man. Get myself healthy.
Get all the rest you need.
Yeah, get myself healthy. But I'm just happy to pop on for a little bit. Yeah, happy to pop on for a little bit at least. Ugh.
Yeah.
So
Will, how's it going with you?
It's going all right. Would Jimmy just say, "Hey, there's more people"? I'm gone.
Yeah. Yeah, man, it's just be when you guys go to MegaCon, just be careful, man. That's all.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna have my mask on even if I'm vaccinated. I still wear my mask.
Yeah, I'm still gonna wear my mask, man. But I'm gonna have to wait 3 months after since I have it. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, if I'm going around town in a store or something,
yeah,
I'm vaccinated. I ain't gonna fool with my mask. But if I'm going to a convention, better lead by example. And vaccinated or not, wear the stupid mask.
yeah, wear the mask and then don't get too close because these guys still want to get close as hell to you. Still, you know what I mean? You're in a box and they still want to jump right on top of you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I was reading Tony Daniels' post about his booth setup in MegaCon, and there's going to be there's going to be face shields and everything. So like he's not taking any chances, but I think it's great that he's still planning to go, even though there's there's been the spikes and such.
Yeah.
So that's
this ain't
great
like
to hear.
Yeah, it ain't like it's Ebola or some 28 days later or something like that plague where you get near it, you get it. You wear a mask, you do precautions, you're going to be fine.
Yeah, I did all that, and I still got it. So it doesn't. I mean, you never know. You know what I mean? So I wasn't the only thing I wasn't vaccinated. Yeah. So, but that's why I'm gonna wait 3 months and get.
So
because they told me to wait 3 months. It's
gonna hit you harder.
Yeah, they told me to wait 3 months and get vaccinated. But I was already planning on it. Like I was planning on it that week, and right when I planned on getting it is when I got it. I'm like, what the hell?
Sometimes expect the unexpected.
Yeah,
you never know.
Yeah, but like I said, it's no joke, guys. I'm giving you guys all a heads up. It's no joke. If you haven't got vaccinated yet, I would.
It's just that you got stupid people out there that don't want the vaccine and don't want to wear masks, and they rather put everybody else in harm's way because they don't want to do two simple things.
So I'm going to chime in on that. Because I understand people's reluctance to go get it because it has not passed the full FDA, process, right? It hasn't gotten that full approval. I get that, and I get that people have there's a lot of conspiracy theorists out there. I totally get that, but think of it not as I mean, number one, the FDA would not pass a provisional, right? It just hasn't been time. Time is the one thing that has prevented them from saying yes, full okay. But they have passed it provisionally, and think about not about you getting sick. Think about the possibility that you got it and you're a transmitter, but you're asymptomatic, right? So think about protecting everybody else in your life and everybody else that you're around and everybody else in the world, and be world sensitive and world conscious about the fact that it's available. There's a means to prevent the spread, and the fact that not enough people are preventing the spread is the situation that we're in now.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I totally understand, especially if you're in your 20s. You may not have a need to go and get it because it's like such a small chance of you actually catching it first, and then if you do, it actually being very harmful. But still, you can give it to someone else. What are you mad?
The fact that younger, healthier people have more potential to not get as sick. Everybody's got the same chance of catching it based on how much preventative maintenance they do, right? Like sanitizing, masking up, that kind of thing, not going out that often, not going into crowded places, right? That's your percentage of prevention. But getting it, sure, you might survive it a little bit easier, but you're still spreading it, right? You're still a carrier, whether you're sick or not.
Yep.
Which goes back to what I was telling you, Jimmy, off air Wednesday. These businesses, property owners need to grow some balls. The state shouldn't have anything to do with it. These people that own these places should have some balls and be like, you don't wear a mask, you're out of here. You know?
Yeah.
And people gonna try and fight that stuff, but it is what it is. Just wear the mask.
Just wear the mask and just stay 6 feet away like you're supposed to, and instead of at cons when they're right on top of you. Still, you know what I mean? Even with the mask.
And that's why I didn't like when I went to the Coliseum Roadshow back in like October of last year. You know, every time I'm in the box, somebody come up on next to me, and then another person on the other side of me start digging in, and I'm like, man, I'm feeling uncomfortable with this shit, so I back out, man, because I ain't trying to be around too many people.
Right.
Even if they wear masks and stuff, I still feel uncomfortable being.
Or they do it like Steve's people.
Then why are you going to MegaCon?
They're jumping on. They're jumping on top of you and go, "Can I get in that box?" And you're right in that box.
But to see, the funny thing is, when I was at Brick City Con and Infinity Con, they didn't have as many people there, and it was spaced out.
Yeah,
you know, so people wasn't on top of us like it was at that Coliseum Roadshow. So there's ways that you can space a con out or space the area out and do it the right way, and people won't be on top of you like that. Like you mentioned last year on the con you went to, what, Huntsville? So
sorry, Oreo.
So I was at I sold at a little show up in Milwaukee last Sunday, and all I got was a little 6-foot table to put all my stuff on. And now I would say that there was some distance between me and the next vendor, right? Not a lot, but it literally looked like every show I'd ever been to before COVID, right? Where it's like shoulder to shoulder, box to box. I didn't have any choice on like how much I could spread out the boxes that I had, unless I bought another table. Which in retrospect, that's an opportunity I'll look at the next time I do something to just be a little bit more equitably safe. But I got guys, no masks, all just like shoulder to shoulder, digging through my boxes, looking for books, and I'm like, it's all on you guys. Nothing I can do about it. I mean, people are going to be the way that they're going to be. I mean, sure, they're vaccinated and everything, but and this is a small show, but when you start talking about tens of thousands of people going through there,
like a MegaCon
if you're going to MegaCon, you're going to any show this year, mask up, be protected, bring your hand sanitizer, sanitize up after each booth.
Yeah, and remember, something the size of a MegaCon, you can be guaranteed, whether it's by their own fault or not, 1/3 of the people unvaccinated.
Yeah, sure. At least.
And for the love of God and everybody else's senses, please bring extra deodorant.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. That's a general rule ever since cons were invented, man. But
this guy, why these guys don't wear them in the first place. You know why they don't wear deodorant. They keep you guys out of their. Yeah, pretty much.
I don't understand why masks.
They're all nose deaf.
Yeah, I don't understand why masks are such a big deal. I mean, there's cosplay. Now, there's some really cool, unique ways you can do it.
Mm-hmm. But a lot of people don't.
We're gonna see a lot of masked superheroes.
Yeah, a lot of Boba Fett's. Boba Fett's as far as the eye can see.
Boba Fett, Sub-Zero, Scorpion, Melina,
Spider-Man.
Yeah, a lot of them.
What was Idris Elba in this last movie?
Oh,
Bloodsport.
Yeah.
I love that mask. That mask was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. At first, I thought it was just his goatee that was sticking out underneath.
Right?
Then I realized it was like the skull.
Yeah.
Yeah. It looked like an alien head almost.
Yeah. Pretty cool.
It. I liked the movie. It was actually good.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I love the camp scene was freaking hysterical.
Yeah. I still would give it a 6 out of 10, which is good, but not great to me. I enjoyed it. But I don't understand these people saying 10 out of 10, 9 out of 10.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
They said the same thing about Zack Snyder's Justice League. I don't get
Those
it.
are hard. That's a
Yeah,
hardcore DC
I'm
fans.
the same thing. Like 6, 7 out of 10.
Yeah.
It was good, but not great. I don't understand anyone giving it a 9 or a 10.
Zack Snyder is the king of making 3 movies into one. And the fact that movie had 6 parts, it was like that should have been a miniseries that they could have released on HBO Max.
Yeah.
That would have been better.
I mean, no, I don't want to sit through a 4-hour movie. Nobody wants to sit through a 4-hour movie.
Nobody does.
I will say that the first time I saw Lord of the Rings, when I first saw that first movie, I sat there like it finished up, and I was like, wait, it's not over. You're like, let's keep going, right? And I just sat there for 3.5 hours of this film, right? But it was so engrossing, right? It was just I was so involved and invested in the movie that like, the time passage didn't matter.
Like, didn't they have even extended versions of the first movie of each movie? Like 5 hours or shit.
Everyone
no, it's like yeah, it's like 3.5 to 4 hours somewhere in there. I think the max is like 4 hours. But I got to be honest with you, I've been trying to find the extended versions of those films on Blu-ray as well as the Harry Potter ones. If you watched when they produce, they do the Harry Potter films on some of the channels. There's extra scenes in there you can't get that weren't in the theatrical, and they're not available on home video either. It's
Man, are you
extra
there?
scenes that really play the movie.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
What's up, fellas?
Not much, man. Not much.
Hey, man. Hey, y'all talking about cons and masks? We coming for one right now. And about what you say, X? Probably about what most folks who had on the mask. It was about 45. No, 55%. Yeah, 55% had on the mask.
Oh boy.
And I can only imagine going down to MegaCon next week.
Yeah.
I can only imagine the madness that's going to be. With people, not being vaccinated, no mask. So, people, please, for the love of God, put on a mask.
Now,
I can't go.
Let me ask you this, Matt. You said 55% probably wearing a mask?
Yeah.
Of that 55%, what percent were wearing it correctly versus having their nose hanging out doing no good?
Hey, now, I will say that most folks had on their mask with some sense. Now, what was more shocking what was really shocking is the fact that store owners are serving all these people with no masks on. Right. That was more, maddening than anything else is the amount of store owners that did not have on a mask. Now you're serving, at a time 20, 25 people at a time, and they're going through long boxes for an extended period of time. And then you don't even have on a mask to protect yourself.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's asinine.
Yeah, it is.
And then on top of that, you're handling their credit cards and books that they touch and all that stuff.
Yep. I'm sorry, Sean.
How was the con? Like you went to Atlanta Comic-Con, right? Atlanta?
Yeah. On a scale from 1 to 10, because it was off year, this was you could tell that they're coming back from a pandemic. But we talked about this on our show a couple of months ago. The books that you probably would have not been able to get are there, and they're willing to come up off of them. I got a couple of them, of big books, man, that I have been looking for a while. I was shocked. I was generally shocked at some of the books that I found and that I was able to get deals on. Now, some people were there and they just automatically saw what the dealer had and was like, oh, no, I'm not paying that. I'm walking off. And then I would go, hey, man, what can you do with this? What about this right here? And almost every single time I walked out with what I wanted. Every single time. Because what happens is the store owner is looking for the person to pay top dollar. Then they started realizing that, you know what? We're in a pandemic, so some people might buy, some people might not buy. And so they start coming up off of stuff. There was just one guy at the show that I was at. Yesterday, I went both days. I went yesterday and today. And so yesterday, I looked at the guy and I was like, oh, shit, he's stone crazy. Because he had some of these Maximum Carnage books that was through the roof. But then me and another buddy of mine started digging through loan boxes, and I said, wait a minute, he's got Golden Age. I'm talking 7.5, 8, 8.5, 9, 9.8, and these are like bargain basement prices. And I said, well, he's got it backwards. So I was able to go through his box and find stuff. And so I actually walked out with one. I walked out with a couple of books that he had undervalued because all he was doing was focusing on what was hot. And so I saw a lot of that. Whatever was hot is what's hot on their rack. So when y'all go to MegaCon,
yeah, what was
stay away. He might actually be down there, man. The guy's name is Christ. I'll inbox it to you on Instagram because I got his card. I can't think of it now. But this dude had like top of the line. One of my buddies that was with me bought a Shazam. He bought a Captain Marvel for like 44, 8.5. He paid $250 for it. $250, and it was a double cover.
What?
Double cover. I fell over when we pulled it out. I was like, are you kidding me? And I was like, yeah, this is a guy that prices everything that's what's hot. And so he sticks with whatever's hot. Okay, well, I'm going to go around the back door and I'm going to go through everything else that's old and I'm going after.
Yeah.
So when y'all go to the show, and I'm pretty sure y'all going to have more vendors there because I heard a lot of guys talking about it. Y'all going to have more vendors at the MegaCon. So when y'all go down there, I would tell y'all to probably go look around for guys that avoid the guys that have nothing but hot modern books, and start looking for guys that you can probably hasn't been out in a year. Because what I found is 2 guys I talked to had not been out in a year. So his main MO was to get books on. I was with one of my fraternity brothers who was with me yesterday, and he got the first Shang-Chi, first Shuri, Man 8, the first Man 8, high grade. These are all high grade books. Got them all for $275. All of them. No. $275.
I don't know your friend, but I hate him.
And I was like, God.
I don't hate him. I respect him. He did a great job.
Yeah. So, guys, the deals are there. It's just a matter of we've all done. All of us are all collectors, so we've all done this. We know this song and dance. I think the more problem is the folks that are not getting into it. It's like, hey, I want to go out and start collecting because there was 2 guys I bumped to that was new collectors. Like that one guy was going to pay almost $400 for a maximum, it wasn't even like the main issue of Maximum Carnage. It was the one with the yellow cover with Spider-Man and Carnage and Venom on it. Y'all know what I'm talking about. The one that everybody you see that book every time you go somewhere.
Yeah, that's 363, I think.
Yeah, 363. Yeah, it's like $400. Dudes would have paid, and I was like, no. I was telling X, I started like on Bane when in the plane. No, my brother. No, don't pay that. Don't pay that, bro.
Stay here.
Yeah, there must be one of us in the wreckage, my brother. No. I was like, no, don't do that. So that's the problem. It's the newbies that are just not getting into this that's gonna get skin up. But for veterans like us, y'all know better. All of us know better. So
yeah, I noticed at the cons I've been to during the pandemic, a lot of the guys had stuff priced from 2019, and they haven't even had time to change their pricing. So as you're looking through a box, there's the guy that owns the whole thing looking through a box, changing prices. So you just need to get ahead of him, and you can get it at the old price before he catches it.
Yep. And another thing I noticed too, a couple of guys bought. Well, I know one of the guys that we went to at the last con was there, and he was telling me that he had just bought a collection. He said he hadn't even went through it. He said, I just threw it out there. Just be, whatever's priced is priced. 5, 10, 15, 5, 10, 15, 5, 10, 15. That's the guy we always talk about, the $5 man, Sean. Yeah. Just everything was $5. Didn't matter what it was. I got a Jubilee, $20. First Jubilee, mint condition, $20. Just put it right out of the box. I mean, deals like some of these guys are there to sell. Then you've got the resident jackass. I know Sean saw it in our Facebook, in our back channel on Facebook.
That X-Men Alpha Flight
first appearance, he wanted $12,000 $12,000 for the first Alpha Flight.
You can kiss my
No,
butt.
he didn't.
I'm not
He
paying that.
wanted to make sure it stayed with him. That's why.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he had that. Then today he had was that Hulk 1? I think it was Hulk 1. Hulk 1. He wanted $100,000.
I ain't seen that one.
Yeah, that's the one that Derek had and looked at $100,000.
Wait,
And I was just like, yeah,
Hulk 1, 1960s Hulk 1?
the one with the
red
the one
Hulk?
with the one with him growing. I can't remember which one it is. I can't. Not the.
Oh, you talking about the one with Bruce Banner standing in front and he grows into the Hulk behind
Yes, that one. Yes. He wanted $100,000 for that.
The Silver Age book.
The Silver Age book.
Oh, well, then that's not that high of a price. Then.
Well, when he was going from
Yes
to the whole, the one where Bruce Banner had the doctor suit on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was that one.
Yeah,
100.
that one. Yeah, 100,000.
What was the grade? Did he have like grade, a slab?
It was a slab. It was a 9. It was a 9.
A 9?
Yeah. But who's buying that at a con? Who's coming in that? Who's buying $100,000 book at a con?
I don't know, but if you had it, I would have grabbed it up. That seems a little low to me.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, I understand it in that sense, and I know what you mean. But it's like I say, who's coming to a? He needs to be selling that on Golden Auction.
No, he needs to go to San Diego or New York or
Yeah.
They'll have people there for those.
No, this guy is from Fayetteville, Georgia. But this guy is from down here where I'm at. He knows nobody in Georgia is buying that book for that price. Nobody's buying it. You know.
Wow.
Yeah, he had Edge of Spider-Verse 2 for $30,000.
What?
Yeah.
Please tell me it was a 10-0.
I had to ask Larry what the grade was, because Larry's the one that alerted me to that. And I was like, nah. Nope. So there's always a resident jackass at the con, so you happen to be a jackass at the con.
That's ridiculous, man. When you sent that photo with that X-Men First Alpha Flight for $12,000, I was like, you kidding me? Like, you could get a lower tier version of that book, like a 5.0, way cheaper than that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, you could probably buy for $30,000, man. You probably could go buy an open box from Diamond full of them for that price.
For $30,000, you can get an AF-15.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could have, because somebody was actually selling one there. You know.
Yeah, we had a guy had one booth, had 2 of them. One was a 6, the other was like a 7.5.
Wow.
Yeah.
Overall, if I had to grade it, I'd probably give it about a 6 to a 7 out of 10. I was able to find some good stuff that I had been looking for a while at decent prices, and some of the guys, because I've dealt with them before, they were really nice as far as like allowing me to get some stuff that at good prices or whatever. And
I'm looking forward to a video, because I know y'all got some video footage of the con. Probably interview some vendors. We lost Geek. Matt, you still there?
Well,
that's Matt too. That's the thing about cons, though, man. You got to be smart.
Oh yeah.
Definitely not. I always just browse through multiple vendors to see what they got, and I know the one to avoid.
Yeah, you definitely.
Hey, that shot. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you
now.
Okay. All right. Cool. Yeah, I think my.
You definitely want to make sure this is a tip that's hard to follow, because the FOMO is real, especially when you see the one book you've been looking for. But if you can manage it, look through all the vendors, at least their walls, and see what kind of pricing they have on their boxes around the whole convention before you buy anything first.
Yeah. And that's what I usually do on Thursdays when I go. I look through the whole convention, and then, choose which ones I want to go to.
Because I remember seeing one guy selling a 0.5 GSX-1 for, I think it was $600, and it was a PGX 0.5 with a facsimile cover.
Oh my God.
So I was like, yeah, no. But then you go to the next booth, and they'll have like a 2.0 GSX #1 for $1,500, and you're like, that actually seems reasonable in this market.
Also, be careful to piggyback off of that, because this happened to one of my buddies today. He had he thought he had bought the first first Black Panther, and he paid the guy $1,500. But another guy was standing right next to him and said, "Hey man, let me look at that right quick." And he looked at it and he said, "Hey man, that's been retouched." And then come to find out, it had been retouched, but the guy selling the book didn't tell him. So you got to be careful about buying books off. Yeah, you got to be careful about buying books off of folks too.
Because they may know it and not tell you, or they may not know it and didn't notice because they got a huge inventory. So you always got to check. And man, always check the freaking book out of the bag. Don't just look at the cover.
Check the bag, count the pages.
Yes, my buddy got so screwed over by someone because he didn't count the pages like Geek said.
All right, guys,
he didn't check the bag.
I'll see you later.
Later, man. Man, it was a X-Men 94.
Good job.
You know, the book under GSX one, the X-Men 94. And it had a small tear in the bottom on the spine. And he thought, okay, great, this is like a $500 book maybe, or $300 book, you know, depending on grade. We got it out. That tear continued to the back and got the size of my fist.
Oh.
And it went in 4 pages deep.
Oh.
On the back.
Wow.
That is. You talk about money just down the drain.
Yeah, he was not happy.
I always tend to look through books, you know, that are off the wall. You know, I'm not just gonna instantly buy a book just because it presents well in that Mylar. Like that shit can have a fucking tear in the back, and you know, soon you look at it like, fuck, man, this ain't gonna come back well from CGC.
Yeah, we were talking about that yesterday when we went, because one of the books that my buddy had, my buddy John, he had pulled down, and he was like, "This book here, man, it won't 50 for it, but it's got a tear on it, you know. But it looked good in the Mylar, way up high, you know."
Yeah, be careful with that Mylar, man. Automatic 2-point grade bump minimum.
I don't know about that, but yeah, it definitely looks nice.
Well, it pretty much. I mean, the point is it tied stuff.
And that's why when Jimmy was hanging out with me and Steve at Coliseum, every book he asked for off the wall, he was inspecting the inside, page for page, like you said, the back, front, everything.
Oh yeah,
seeing those spine ticks and that.
And
I
make sure
got on Torpedo last night on they're on Instagram. And there's Tales to Astonish number 49, first appearance of Giant Man. And the guy who's selling, I don't know him, right? It's just some random Torpedo employee to me. Mm-hmm. You know, it wasn't Steve. So he goes, it's a 3.0 and it's this much. I go, okay, can you take it out of the bag? And he's like, oh, I've never been asked to do that before. I graded it a 3.0. It's a 3.0. And I'm like, all right, never mind. I'm like, I don't know you. Like, I don't know how well you grade, you know, and it's not about whether or not it's a 3.0 or not. It's about whether or not it looks good or I can upgrade it.
Yeah.
So that was a hard pass.
Yeah. Learning to do a hard pass on something is a great skill.
Yeah. Yep.
Be ready to walk away. Don't give in to the FOMO.
Yeah, I did a lot of that this year. I was telling X, I said I did a lot of that this year. I was like, nah. I mean, I had a first him in my hand. I looked at it and I looked at it and I looked at it and I analyzed the book. It just just looked at it, just looked and looked and looked and looked. And I said, nah, I'm not doing it. Nope. Nope.
Sometimes you gotta walk out empty-handed.
Yeah. Tito had came over, so I asked Tito, sometimes, and that's another thing too, man. Bounce it off the person you with. Hey man, what you think about this? What about this and what about that? And Tito looked at it and He said, nah, not for that. I said, nah, you're right, man. Nah.
That's the good thing about hunting with a group, or at least going with a buddy, is being able to do that, bounce that off. Because like Sean was saying, like Sean and Steve and I are going through stuff, right? And we're talking to each other. We're like, well, would you pay that? You know, what do you think about this? It makes it, number one, it makes it a lot more fun, but two, it helps keep you honest.
I've never not gone with a buddy.
Yep.
I wish I could say that.
Yep. Those big cons, man. Make sure you try to go with somebody, man, because you know you can cut through the bullshit. And hold the book up to light. People hold your books up to light, so that you can see, so that you can inspect it and see if there's any dings and
pop out the flashlight on your phone and check the glare.
Yeah, definitely use that. Don't just trust the lighting in whatever place you're in, because the lighting may not be that great. You know, you take it out in the sun, and you're seeing things like, well, what in the world is that stain doing there? Well, you didn't have as good lighting in the huge place where everyone was. So, yeah, your phone light, that's a great point, Jim.
Hard to tell how yellow a book is under yellow lights.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, and I told this to the guy after that happened to him today. I told him, I said, this is why I'll prefer, this is me, this is my preference, that really big books, just if you can afford it, just buy it graded, because it cuts through a lot of that mess that, you know, is it this, is it that? At least you know if it's graded, you know, it is what it is.
Matt, how many times have we seen on, you must be out your damn mind, where people are charging way overpriced on a raw book and then put a freaking CGC 9.8 next to it, like it ain't even fucking slabbed, and you're gonna put that CGC grade on there.
Yep. That's once again, that's why I said, you know, these guys go to the shows in the FOMO, and then they get so excited. You know, it's Tomb of Dracula, his first blade. Oh shit, I've never seen this book in my life. He's got it for $6,000, and it's got a tear down the back. Well, you don't know it because it looks really good in that Mylar.
From the front.
I just buy that shit slabbed if you can, man. Yeah. If you can afford it, buy it slabbed.
And as long as you're not a reseller.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you're a seller, though. But yeah, man, I would agree with you there. If you can afford it, definitely.
Yeah.
There's just no harm, no foul. It's a 9.8 blue label. It's a 9.8 blue label.
Yeah.
Yep.
9 years.
And I would also say, when you're buying raw, it wouldn't hurt to buy you a little $4 blacklight flashlight, because it'll let you see color touch super easy, especially if the lighting isn't very good in a place. You just pop that light on it. Most of the time, but there are some times that you can't tell.
You got to know how to see that though with a black light, right? Because that can be misleading.
Well, yeah,
I've had books with color
touch that
don't show anything under the black light. You got to know how to see it.
I also like it, like using a black light for color breaking ticks. If you can't really tell in the light, if you use a black light, much easier to tell because it will make the white that breaks the color glow.
That's true. The other side of that is if you're using a black light to spot restoration, other than color touch, much easier, right? Because you'll see the break in the gloss, or you'll see the difference in the color tones between it. Like if they added rice paper or they added a piece to it, you can see it that way.
But it's easier, especially if you're an amateur, to see amateur color touch and stuff than it is professional. So just always buy with it in mind. Hey, I got to be smart about the price I pay.
Yeah. The easiest way to spot amateur color touch that can kill you, look at the inside of the cover. Most times it'll bleed through. Professional stuff doesn't bleed through not normally.
Yeah. And I remember when I was at the Coliseum with Quest for Legends and them, you know, he was looking at a Fantastic Four book on the wall, you know, and they gave it to him and he inspected it and stuff like that. And then he noticed something and he asked them, "Is this a restored comic?" And they said yes. So he gave it back to them, because they wouldn't have
Why didn't
said
they have it
nothing.
marked on the book, like on the back or something?
Yeah, I was about to ask the same thing.
Yeah,
he
that's dishonest.
Well, hey, I saw this at our YouTube sale. A guy, I won't mention his name, was selling for a store, I guess his LCS, and they had this is one thing I don't like about CBCS. They had an FF20 CBCS, it was like a 3.0, I think, and he wanted like $200 for it, which was almost standard pricing, or at least was then. And they were advertising it as, hey, this is a 3.0, it's an FF20, they showed it. But if you look in the fine print, it's a blue label. That's what CBCS does. They don't have different colors, It says this book is restored, it's been blah, 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 blah. So it's had some work done to it, but they never mentioned it. And I'm like, dude, you need to tell the people that it's not worth what you think it's worth, because it's been restored, it's been touched. But CBCS they notate it as they should, but they don't do a color label. And if you're not used to that or don't know to look for that, you can really mess up.
Yeah. I have one restored book in my collection, and I bought it restored on purpose because, one, it's not easy to come by, and two, it shows so much different restoration that I like having it as an example.
Yeah. I thought about getting an example book.
It was only a couple $100. It was Lois Lane #1, with her on the cover as a witch.
Oh, I need that book. Not restored though, but I need that book.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'll get a nice copy later on, but I got this one, in the meantime. I like it. It's Frankenstein. It's got rice. They use rice paper on the back, color touched on the front, tear seals. It's got everything except the trim. I'll never do trim.
Yeah, I would say, like, the only way a restored book is important is if you just want it for your own collection, even if it's a bit restored, or whatnot. You just want the book and you're not overpaying for it, I say go for it. But if you're buying the book and it's restored and you're looking for value in the future on it, then I don't touch the book.
Well, that's a matter of opinion. Yeah, it really depends on the book, right? So, like, I would agree with you wholeheartedly on anything that has to do with Silver Age.
Yeah. Now, a Tech 33, for example.
No doubt.
If you want a Tech 33 and want any chance of affording it at all, you're going to have to go facsimile cover, restored, something, because even one of those is probably 10 to 15,000 and a 0.5. And it's a very rare book.
But the thing is that what needs to be understood is that before CGC was a company, people wanted their books restored. They wanted them to look better. They wanted this work done. The new president of CGC, Matt Nelson, was the #1 guy in the southern United States for doing restoration before he got the job over there as their head grader and doing the work that he did. But he still does restoration and restoration removal. So it is an art form. For like the high-end professional stuff. But like if you get a ratty copy or something like that and you want to have it look presentable, and if I get a copy of Detective Comics 38, that's missing half the cover, absolutely I'll have it restored. Not a problem. Yeah. Because I want to look at that cover. I want it to look nice.
I saw the comment Al put up there. Yeah, there's a guy that has a giant size X-Men. And it has the facsimile cover attached to it. He bought it from a guy. So, if he bought it from the guy, he probably paid, $150, whatever, from the guy. Probably thought he was doing something. Turns out the guy got over on him because he don't know how to understand, look at restored stuff. And he's sitting there with a giant size X-Men sitting in the box asking for $500 for it. So somebody who doesn't know any better to the naked eye is going to see, oh, man, this giant size X-Men. $500, unbelievable. That's another thing. If you see a deal like that that's too good to be true, guess what? It's probably too good to be true.
It probably is.
Yeah.
Either that, or you ran into that rare occasion where someone doesn't know what they have and just wants to sell it, the little old lady, or the guy that's just through and wants out.
Yeah, happened last week. I don't know if you saw this earlier. Happened last week, but but most times that's just like a one-off. You rarely see that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
A book that massive giant size X-Men, even the fool of the fools know. X-Men number one. Yeah.
And you was able to score the on the show last week though, that big steal that you got. What, Moon Knight?
Yeah, first Werewolf by Night, $10.
$10, man.
Yep.
Is that a yard sale?
Give you 50 for it right now.
At flea market.
Flea market, huh?
Yep.
See, I was hoping to find some stuff like that, but man, they never have that where I live.
Hey, down here in the South, man, we hit these backwood podunk towns. You can find stuff right here.
I was at a podunk town earlier today, but they didn't have nothing good.
Yeah. You got to keep looking, man. I tell people, it was funny because when I was digging today, I was kind of thinking about that, like the odds of finding that kind of stuff. It took this many years of me digging in boxes to find that. So just imagine having to put in the work to go around and go around and go around over years. So it means you have to do a lot of digging. And, every once in a while you'll find something. Because one of the guys that they said he bought a collection from somebody he said it was just garbage. He said then all of a sudden he finds the first Two-Face in there, and he was like, "Well, hell," So
yeah, the South, man, it's a unique monster. I can second the motion because there's a place down here called Lacon. It used to be a town, but it's no longer incorporated. No one lives there, but they have a sale day every weekend. You go in, you go to the parking thing. The lady asked for $1 for parking. You hand her $1. She asked if you want to buy some eggs, and you say no. You go park. Then you walk over. You move past the chickens. Don't run into the goats. They smell. And then you eventually get to this one guy in a little shack, and he has a bunch of old comics, and they're Golden Age and Silver Age. Most of the time, it's just a bunch of old Westerns, though. But, yeah, you'd be surprised where you can find some books, man.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Yep.
I got to bounce. Sean, I'll catch you guys later. I'll see you next weekend.
All right, Geek. Good to see you, bro.
See you guys.
Yep. A lot of times, too, man, you can find a lot of – I've noticed this recently, man. You can find a lot of EC books, too. A lot of people really don't know EC. And so a lot of times those are just like in piles because people don't look for them,
Yeah.
Unless you're a collector, collectors know that stuff, but the average eye person will know.
Any 60s, early 60s anthology type Tales of Suspense, Strange Adventures, the Showcase, all those kind of books. You're more likely to find those at a steal than your Spider-Mans and Batmans and, stuff like that.
Yeah, House of Mysteries, man. I saw a lot of those, sitting in boxes today. Whole bunch of those.
There's a few again, more hundreds.
Yeah.
House of Mystery was a horror thing. Then it went like superhero kind of, and then it went back in '68 to horror through the early '70s. And there are some classic covers. Worth some money in that.
Yeah.
A lot of those House of Mysteries from the 70s is top-notch covers.
Bernie Wrightson is on some.
Yep.
You got some of these other guys, Neil Adams, a lot of guys.
Yep. All right, fellas, I'm finna go grab some grub. I'm ready to scoot out of here, man. Had to hop in, give everybody the calm report. It's so good to see y'all boys, man. Sean, we'll catch you.
It was great hearing from you, bro.
You too, man.
I know you have a video plan for this.
Yeah, I was telling Eggs, I said, boy, I am dreading this whole video. I said, this is going to be like going to the movies, man. I'm going to put a movie premiere on the intro for the next whole video because it's going to be that damn long. It's by the length of Suicide Squad. Hey, which by the way, I'm giving it a 9 out of 10. I'm sticking with it. It was a great movie. I enjoyed it. So,
Why?
Yeah, I enjoyed it, man. It was way better than that last one.
No, I'm not asking why you enjoyed it. I enjoyed it too. It's a good movie, but why 9 out of 10?
The way, I guess with me, you know what? I need to go back and watch it again. I might give it a 10 out of 10 because I watched part of it. I went back and watched part of it, but I had to get up and go to the con next day. So I was like, you know what? I'm not going to rewatch all of it again. So I had to sit down and rewatch it. But I will say this and get ready to leave is that John Cena really did a really good job in that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, John Cena did a really good job and surprised me in that movie. So it was really good. And then they said, well, I'm not going. Never mind. I had to catch myself. I'm not going.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, watch it. Rob already gave a spoiler away early in the show. So
who told G-Man? G-Man gave it away.
No. Rob, no, not near mint.
Oh, okay. Now, yeah, I had to catch myself. No, go spoil it. Hey, if you hadn't seen it, it's a really good movie. Go check it out, man, and enjoy it. So, hey, Sean, what you got planned for next week? Because I know you're going to the con. Are you going to do anything at all next week?
No, it won't be a show next week.
Okay, yep. So
I'm gonna be at the con Friday and Saturday, and possibly Sunday. Possibly.
All right, so so for everybody, we'll resume back on the 21st. So we'll be ready to roll. But I have a whole video out probably in the next day or two.
Hey, is that whole video gonna be 2 hours long?
I'm gonna try to chop it up, man. I'm gonna try to chop it up. So what I might do is do a separate con video and then stuff that I picked up over the last few weeks.
Like I said, when I rewatched that Atlanta Con 2018, the video y'all did, I was like, man, this was a great video. And I'm like, if y'all do something similar like that, then I'll be. Because did you interview any vendors?
I interviewed 2 of the guys that were there last time because I wanted to get their perspectives on how was it this time coming, because they came back. They hadn't been to any con since the last Atlanta, 2019. What, 2019? So they hadn't been anywhere. Yeah. So I think the one guy up in Huntsville, the $5 Master, I think he had a con last year, but it was right before all hell broke loose, before Zool showed up last year.
Wait a second, $5 man y'all been talking about is from Huntsville?
Yep.
What is his actual name? I can. Huntsville's like that way. I can.
Hey, you know Jerry? You know Jerry? He does. Jerry. He does the Huntsville Comic Con.
Yeah.
Yeah. A $5 man.
So Jeremy's a $5 man. You're talking about in his boxes, not on the wall, right?
Yeah, not on the wall. In the boxes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, not on the wall. Hell no, not on the wall.
Yeah, I didn't have a chance though. I need to. What you're saying?
Yeah. Yeah, go to his boxes next time, man. All his books in there like $5, $10, 15, maybe 20 more. Bingo, look at that. Yep. Yeah, check him out, Big Will. Yeah, I'm telling you, man, he has some really good stuff over in there. So, and it was cool, man. It was like when I walked in yesterday and they were like, Matt, what's up, man? You know, because we hadn't seen each other in so long because everybody's been tucked away. It was really good to be able to see people that you hadn't seen in a while out and about at a con. You know, you've got your regulars that you see at stores, you know, store owners, you know, cruising the beat, but to be able to see people that you hadn't seen on the circuit for a while, it was really cool. Apparently there's going to be another show next week, and I think I'm going to that. It's another con. We have Atlanta Comic Con, then we have the Atlanta Comic Convention. That one is going on next Saturday, so we'll be up there as well. So we'll check some of those guys out. I'm not sure if it's going to be as I know 1 or 2 people that's going to be there. One I know, it's just you might as well hang it up. You ain't getting no deal. You know you might be able to get a box of candy. You might be able to get a box of candy from me, but that's about far as it's going to go. But if 1 or 2 other dudes that I'm thinking is going to be there, I think you'll be able to get 1 or 2 good deals out of there. So nice. But mask up, people. Mask up. Put on the damn mask.
Exactly.
So all right, fellas.
All right, Matt.
All right, we'll holler at y'all. Peace.
Later.
All right.
So I was planning on a short episode today. I said that earlier. You know, I'll probably be getting off very soon because I got something planned to do after 4.
All right.
So do you have anything you want to talk about? Anything to show?
Yeah, I got something I want to talk about. I want to know. I was watching Burke Family 54's channel. They did a video about suggestions and tips and tricks for conventions.
And from the pros. I know the video.
Yeah, from the
I
pros.
was like, that's kind of exaggerated with that line, but yeah.
Well, it didn't bother me. But and Superior or Superpower, I always get them confused. Superior Hero Reviews gave a tip that some people in the chat didn't agree with, and I don't know if I agree with it. And I just want to know your opinion on it. And this ain't drama or anything, people. It's just he made a statement, and I'm wondering what your opinion is. Mine differs. And he said that when you do a sketch and you get a sketch done for the artist and you have an agreed upon price, say $100, you're supposed to give them $100 and then give them a tip.
It's the first time I'm hearing that. No, if they like, I do give tips when they have a tip jar.
Yeah, and that usually because they're not charging for what they're selling usually. Like,
but if
Peter David, Gail Simone, all about that tip jar, that they do everything for free and have stuff for sale.
But the thing is, if I'm paying you $100 for the sketch, you're getting paid $100 for the sketch. And I shouldn't have to give you a tip when you're getting $100.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I understand. You know, you give a waitress a tip because they're not making minimum wage; they're making a lesser minimum wage because their tips are supposed to make up for it. The artist tells you the price, or you come to a agreed upon price, and that is the price. It's not that's the price, but you pay them less, and then hopefully pay them more to get to the price. I mean, it's you know, I mean, I've never heard that. I don't get that. I ain't doing that. I mean, if you tell me it's $100 and then I come back to you later when it's done, you say, hey, don't worry about it. It'll be $50. You know, and who that had said this when I asked him about it. Okay, yeah, I might give you 60, 70, you know, because it was originally going to be 100 and you gave me a deal. But I mean, if we agree on a price, that's the price. It's not like you need tips to live off of. I mean, you're doing this for the extra money. I'm giving you extra money by giving you the agreed upon price for the item. And
that's not even to say I can still get a commission and still maybe buy something off your table, like a print or, you know, or a sketchbook, you know, that you're selling. So it's like, if I'm paying you $100 for a commission, you're going to get that $100 and I'm still might purchase something from your booth. So you're making money on top of money.
Yeah. And another thing is some of these guys, like, I mean, you get a sketch cover from most of the local dudes or something, you're paying $100. You get them from some of the other guys, probably in the $200 range. And then you go to people like Michael Golden and some of those guys, it's like $500. You don't need a tip.
No.
So yeah, I don't think I agree with that, and I don't know where they got it from because I've never heard it. I might be in a different circle than they're in though, but I've never heard of that, and I don't know anyone who does that as a rule.
If I'm paying like $100 for a sketch and he does a fabulous job, you can bet your ass I will be there the next time he's at a con, and I might get another sketch from him, and he's going to make that money there. So adding tips to it don't really make sense because you're going to make your money regardless.
Yeah, but besides, you're spending money at the convention for the ticket. You got a hotel half the time. You're going to be in a hotel. Plus, you got a bunch of other stuff. So why am I giving extra money away that wasn't asked or required for? I mean, you got to have
I hope he's not instigating something or starting something where, you know, tip your artist stuff, because then if they start catching on to this, I will look back at that video and blame him for starting this shit. Seriously, we already got to pay for signatures on books.
Yeah,
and then you go to try and add tips to that shit.
Yeah, I'm in the camp of you pay them what you agreed to pay them, And if you get the sketch done and they do the sketch that was required and it was X amount and you pay X amount, you're done.
Yeah.
That's it. You're paying for services rendered. They're the ones that come up with the price.
Exactly.
So there's no tip.
If they have the price plus tip, I'm like, yeah, let me go somewhere else.
If you notice, any time you give a tip to someone, it's because they are performing a service for you, and they can choose whether or not to go above and beyond. Like the waitress who gets you that free refill before you even get through with your first drink, or how about that lady that cleans your room and actually cleaned up a mess that you made and you forgot about or something? Or how about that guy who brought in your bags and you had like a 12-pound bowling ball in like one, and that, okay, those things, service industry things, yeah, you can tip for, but for a product, which is what a sketch is, no. Why? I don't get it.
And like I said, like some people who charge like $50 for a sketch, I like their stuff. I'm gonna buy what I see on their table. Yeah. To add on to the sketch that money that they're making. So that to me is a bigger benefit for an artist. To not only get a commission, but to buy stuff from their table. Because this is a win-win situation for them. So that's my thoughts on it.
Yeah.
So thanks for everybody. I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream, but I want to thank everybody before we go any further. Thank everybody for showing up. It was a great conversation we had, especially when Matt came in here and gave his thoughts on the Atlanta Comic Con. That was a blast to hear. Jimmy, Rob, not near Mint. Thanks all who showed up. Thanks to everybody in the chat. I hope everybody has a great rest of your Saturday and a great Sunday. Will, I know do you have your show on Sunday coming up?
Yeah, we got D&D 8 o'clock Central tomorrow night. Come on by.
Cool. And yet, well, I paid $25 for my shit.
See, now we could start a conversation there.
Yeah, but I'm gonna go ahead and stop it right there. So thanks everybody for showing up. And if there's a Silver Age Sunday tomorrow, I will be on there tomorrow. If not, then we'll just be the next time we show up. So thanks everybody for showing up. Have a great weekend. Peace out.